Oh no, during my time in my grandmother's side, don't really have a name until when I moved to Lorong 5, that group, there's a name for it.
So there's a new group you join.
Yeah.
What is the group?
The 18 clan.
Okay.
Okay. They call it the 369 clan today, in today's
Mm.
context.
So 18 and 369 for the viewers who are not sure, right, are just the names of the secret society groups lah. They have been around. They are very common in all the many different areas of Singapore, even in the kampong areas as well, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
Okay. Uh, why are there 18 and why are there 369? Okay.
Mm.
Uh, is that the earlier days was the 18 group, okay, the 18 clan. And then because of some juniors cannot get along with the seniors, so they kind of form up. But I still belong to the clan, but I can't agree with you. There
Mm.
are cases like this, so they started another group, right? And there are also different theories about it. Is that they it's not they do not want to what they call it, associate with that group. All right, so I belongs to this group, but 369 and 18. Okay, how do you get these numbers? All right,
Mm.
3 plus 6 is 9. So 9 plus 9, so equals to 18. So then you understand why are there 18 groups and 18 clans, and then the 18 clans are more of the old school, traditional. And then the 369 one is more on the what do you call that? More direct
Mm.
in terms of practice and principle.
More
During
direct.
the
What do you mean by more direct?
earlier,
Mm.
in the earlier 60s, 70s, where because different SS group knows one another from other groups also. So anything happen, there's always a table talk before the
Mm.
fight.
Mm.
Whereas where they come to the 369 principle is no talk. It's just like the NATO, right? You know,
Mm.
you hurt one, you hurt all. That kind of so the a little bit of different in principle and practice. So that's
Mm.
how it
Mm.
is. And then because there's all different, all over Singapore, right? So they have all the different principles in terms of group handling.
Mm.
So Toa Payoh has their own what do you call it, theory and principles. Mm.
Okay. Okay. So the 369 so your group was the 369?
Yes,
Mm.
both lah actually.
Both.
Because my
Uh,
era was with this group.
so this means where is the group's activities or base of activities area?
uh, all over Toa Payoh, in fact.
Okay.
So mostly during weekends, all right, it's mainly on in Toa Payoh Central. The
Mm.
library there. Because during that time, the library, front of the library, there was a fountain, water fountain,
Yes. Yes.
and then there are two cinemas over there. Okay, one is Toa Payoh Cinema, one is
Mm.
Guangqian Cinema, which is opposite the Catholic Church. Uh, and then because it's whole, I mean, many parts of Toa Payoh, right? So different parts, some are from the different lorongs. So we will meet up at this Toa Payoh Central, so that it become a meeting point also.
When you meet up at Toa Payoh Central, how big was the group?
Wow, a very big group,
Ah,
It's a very big group.
like
You will
how
see,
20
no more than that.
more than
Maybe
that?
hundreds, so yeah.
Huh? Really?
Yeah, because it comes from all different parts of Toa Payoh.
Right.
So mine is Lorong 5. So you have Lorong 6, you have Lorong 7, you have Lorong 2, and then there are during weekends, there are parts from other estates
Yeah.
besides Singapore, besides this Toa Payoh. So that's where, when other we call other parts will come in, we'll intro ourselves. Okay,
Yeah.
then this group Lorong 5 one, the other group is Lorong 7 one. So we introduce to other parts of the Singapore.
Hmm.
So that's how the group grow. And then during activities like funeral service, so everyone will start to call out, oh, okay, example, the Bukit Merah branch, someone passed away, some members family passed away, or then we will congregate and go by lorries or pickups.
Uh,
Same likewise for other groups, they will come in, so it actually is a big group in fact.
and when you gather at Toa Payoh Central, were there ever police around?
Mm, yeah lah, I think common lah. I should, as long
Uh,
nothing happen, of course there will
okay.
be SS branch and all this. All right,
Yeah.
come and do the raids. But if there wasn't any fights, all right, then nothing really happened. But most of the time you will see other groups will end up fighting. That's
Hmm.
a common, like that's the conclusion for the night. I always have this, something. It's not like go and find trouble. You just find that, you just can't conclude the night. So something
Uh,
like, all right. And then during the early 70s, I remember, no, late 70s, 80s, there's this, it was this house function or hall function, in
mm.
Toa Payoh function hall. So all the group will go there and meet up also. And yeah, and then there will be always troublemaker, right?
What is the fighting over?
Sometimes very
Mm.
minor trivial stuff lah, staring one another, or
Mm.
with what do you call it? Fighting over a girl.
Were there female members in the group?
Yeah, yeah,
Ah.
female members, or you call not members we take them as members but they're actually followers also lah.
Mm.
Just then all these members' girlfriend, uh,
Were there non-Chinese in the group or all Chinese?
I think during my era is only Chinese and Indian.
Mm. So
Mm.
there's some Indian there.
Yeah. It
Mm.
was until the late 80s, uh, then they started to have Malays in the group.
Okay.
And then now the Malays number has surpassed almost the
Yeah.
Chinese. And then
Yeah.
the Chinese
Yeah.
are more on the, what do you call it? More toned down because there's age, right? So
Mm.
the Chinese are more toned down and then more sensible already.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. And that shows
So
the
the
problems among the Malays also, right? Mm.
yeah. And then
Mm.
the Malay is just, to me, is it kind of, they are just following the footstep of the early Chinese group. That's all,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I find very sad. The kind.
Correct.
They
Correct.
get influenced, right? And then as they get influenced, then where you have Malay members, then they will want to have their own ideology,
Mm.
and then if the group has their own ideology, then principles also change. It affects the principle. It affects the whole the values that originated.
Mm.
Of course, in that context, all these SS activity are actually not healthy. But there are certain principles which I find is good.
Mm.
All right, good in a sense, you see.
Yeah. Can you say what
Mm.
are some of these principles?
The principle is to me okay, at least
Mm.
you care for one another.
Mm.
All right, that is a good principle. As a community base, it's just like how you like now the CC is running, all this RC is running, it's almost the same principles, right? You
Yeah.
care for
Yeah.
your community, and then you don't cheat. There's some codes, protocol or practice that you code of conducts, all right, which I find is good. All right, should you breach any codes or conduct, then there will be punishment. So one part I find there's a certain principles, is good, but then as it goes by, and then the members, because it becomes the ideology or principles change, and then become haywire because the group grows, right? So everyone has their own, they want their own sets of ideology, and then so today, in today's context, it's no longer like last time. Right? We no longer
Yeah.
like last time. Last time you're not supposed to take drugs. You get
Okay.
punished. You get punished, you even get kicked out from the group. All right. Today's context different. The person, they don't punish you, they themselves is pushing drugs to the younger group. All right. Which this part I find is already out of context.
Yeah.
Right. That's why the overall impressions, right, you gave to others, right, is a bad thing. All right. There are some certain groups, their principles are good. Okay, you don't go and cause trouble. You don't go and interfere other groups, or right. Don't go and intimidate your community. If you stay here, right, protect the community, not intimidate them. The kind of like you can feel there's a kampong spirit. Right. As long, all right, no one come, cross over our border and disturb our community, our neighbors around, right? Then it's okay. But then you don't go and bother others also. So the same principles apply. Okay. Then in today's context, different. The so-called gang leaders will push drug, or some gang leaders will just get the younger ones to run the drugs for them. So it's very different.
I want to ask you, so in terms of like protecting the community, in your time, right, in the late 70s and 80s, did the groups extort money from the businesses, the hawkers?
They do collect we call annual ang pao or annual givings. So where Chinese, they celebrate the 7th month. All right. That those month celebrations. So it's just like collecting some donations. We put it, or so-called ang paos. And then if your shops are, so like example, you open a KTV, right? Then it's part of it. Then that one you have to pay for the so-called protection money, right? It's not so-called extortions. I mean, do have they do have all this
Did you find that, by your time, because the Singapore is also changing, right? The police is also becoming more neighborly, right? You have the neighborhood police and all that. That some of the local people and the businesses were also beginning to resist all this protection money thing. That they would call the
No,
police.
not really, because they are also, unless I think it's those new shops. During that time, all those shops are all, right? They also they live there, they raise their kids there. Yeah, so it's actually we know more or less we know one another lah. But of course we don't demand to eat for free food, right? You see, we don't. My time we don't really have that. Yeah. So very different. I think it's from now at that. Of course, a very drastic difference.
During those times, when you go down and meet the groups in a large group and all that, your friends, what was the feeling like? Did you feel that you were doing something bad or illegal, or was it feeling of a brotherhood or of a community?
Yeah, I think more of a feeling of a brotherhood, a feeling of a sense of belonging. All right. Yeah, it's more of the sense of belonging. Okay. And then, of course, if you are in a group like this, I take it like it's a norm, right? That things bound to happen. It's just like you see that, if you join groups like this, fights are, these quarrels are all what they call it, part and parcels. So it's like a norm. So it's part and parcels like a norm.
I just want to show you a newspaper article, right? So this is what they
Mm,
say. This is, I think, 1976. So they say gangs reign of terror in Toa Payoh, right? And
yeah.
the police they have, there's a plot by three secret society tongs to gain control of Toa Payoh. Was this ever something that happened that you know of? That they want to kind of control Toa Payoh, the gangs.
Yeah, I think not only Toa Payoh, every estate will
Mm,
have this also.
mm.
That's why
Uh,
it's like
yeah.
more of a, what do you call it? More of a territorial occupations. So I think it just happened in what do you call it, in article like this. But if you talk about uh in this context, right, it's actually a whole Singapore.
Mm, mm,
Even other gangs also have, because that's the way they find that this place it belongs to this group.
mm,
All right, so like for me, example, we are in the gangs, so we know that certain estates okay belongs to a certain group or
yeah, yeah.
rival group, so we won't go there.
What were some of the other estates that had gangs that you know?
Oh, you mean
Mm,
in all over Singapore? Many.
mm, mm,
I think you go to SS branch, all the article, you see all this. All
mm,
right. It's just that uh, in fact, in this kind of old estates, right, like Bukit Ho Swee, all
mm,
this,
mm,
all right, Queenstown, okay, this Bukit Merah area, all right. These are all those old estates will have, I think it's more gang infested. Even Chinatown, all right, Tanjong Pagar. I think it's nothing new also. Okay, let me read the
uh,
article.
so they say it's mostly teenagers. They are in the gangs, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
And they arrested 20 people.
In fact, more than that, it's just
Mm,
for this case, right? For instance, it's just they arrested 20. In fact,
mm.
there are more.
So, I mean, I want to ask you, do you think the roots, right, of these gangs, was it economic, you think? Is it poverty, or is it more like, just now as you say, right, the need for a sense of belonging or identity?
Economic,
Mm,
no, not really. Also, I think if you thought economic is for the seniors, yes, maybe, right?
mm,
Because all these places where how does gang operates, right? They operates those they open illegal casino gambling dens,
mm,
okay, horse betting,
mm,
all right, bookie, horse betting. So these are all territorial,
mm,
and that's where they get the funds from also.
mm,
All right, they get the funds from. So if you're, example, you're from Marine Parade, but then you want to start a bookie, what they call activities there every weekends, then you have to pay because you're in
mm.
my territory.
Yeah.
So this is how it goes.
Do the youngsters, right, the teenagers, do they get some of this money? How did you make a living?
No, they don't
Mm,
really get money during
mm,
that time. It's just that, okay, if you're in this, you're in a group, right? Someone will have to pay for your beverages, right?
mm,
That means, okay, example, we hang around. I stay block 35, so I hang around block 30. There's a coffee shop there. 29 block 29 30. There's a coffee shop.
mm,
All right. So whatever you eat down there, the food, the drinks are being paid off.
mm.
Yeah, some even they pay for cigarettes. So to the teenager, this is good enough already. But when, having said that, where does the funds come from?
Mm.
So it comes from the collections of all these, activities, people from the gambling dens, illegal gambling dens, uh, some from the shops there, right? Some from illegal hawking. You want to sell you want to sell fruits or you want to sell durian in my territory, you need to pay.
Did the gang help you in some way?
Uh, no, not really also.
Mm,
That's why I
mm,
find it kind of stupid also.
mm. So
But it's just,
eventually, yeah, go ahead.
I think it's more just of the sense of belonging,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they certain practice, right, to the teens, I mean to myself, I'm speaking over myself. It's just a norm. If you want to join these gangs, then it's just normal. It's just
Mm,
part of the activities.
mm,
You see? And then that's why you join other, those funeral troops, those Teochew, the kind of funeral troops, band,
mm,
the kind of, you make your own kit, but
mm,
you still belong to the group. Then every time you meet up, so that it's just sense of brotherhood, sense of belongings, the kind. Mm.
yeah.
That's why
Okay.
I think the article make it also very clear. They spell out the word teenager, right? So you
Mm,
can
mm.
see, I think that's where you can see all the younger ones are more active in a sense. Easier to recruit, in fact.
I mean, the article also says the police are stepping up their efforts, lah, right? Their action
Mm.
to arrest the gangs. So eventually, yeah, you got into trouble with the law, right? Mm,
Uh, if you're a teenager,
mm,
during that time, if you are not involved, you don't involved in this rioting, fightings, right? Nothing happened to you. The most is just that they bring you back to station,
mm,
get a record. You get what I mean? Then they'll just question you. Are you involved in this fight during this day? No, of course everyone will say I'm not involved. No one will say yes I am.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. So just bring you back for questioning, for what they call recording, and then of course they are stepping up. Okay. And then they are
Mm,
collecting data information. Also, where is the hangout, right? And then they try to collect all the data informations of the name list of the gang members. So should there be any
mm,
uh severe cases happen, they know who to target.
mm, mm.
Uh yes.
So
So
were you
it's
were
like
you brought
it's like cat and mouse game,
cat and mouse game? So you were brought to the police station for questioning before
Many times already.
many
So,
times.
alright.
So what was your attitude towards the police and the authorities at the time?
Attitude.
Mm,
Because during I'm still young, right? So
mm,
never really thought of that. My attitude is just that, you know, uh, still hold on to the code of conduct.
mm,
Never spill the beans. Never spell out who your members are.
mm,
So everything you bear your own. You
mm.
know. Mm.
Was there any
So
fear of the police?
fear of police.
Mm,
No lah. We see police, we just avoid lah. That's all.
mm, mm, mm,
So that's why I say it's more like cat and rat games are, like, oh, that police coming already, so everyone will disperse already. Then
mm,
we will
mm.
know that, okay, today, when the police come, okay, meet somewhere, we know our spots. Okay.
Right, right.
So
Uh,
it
mm,
becomes like a norm already. It's just very normal.
mm. Were
Question.
parents, your grandmother, aware of your activities?
Uh, Not really. Eh. Not really. Then my time was when they only aware that I started, glue sniffing,
Right.
behavioral change, right?
Ah, okay.
Yeah, don't sleep in the night. All right. Mm. Then
What what
lots.
what what did they tell you about the glue sniffing?
They try everything. They try caning, they try everything,
Mm,
and nothing
mm,
works. And then until the extent that my mom cannot, know that, cannot control me anymore.
Yeah.
So she went to court to
Ah,
make a report. Yeah. Beyond parental control.
okay. So this is to get the court to kind of take over the custody or what?
Not take over the custody, let the social welfare take
Social
over.
worker. Okay.
Mm, because she has to work, then no time to look after me. And then my dad is overseas, right? So no one to take care of me. And then that's where my life goes spiral. Right? And then behavior become very rebellious until she cannot control me. Mm.
Do you
So
remember
it's,
talking to the social worker?
yeah, the during that time I was placed under probation, I remember.
Mm.
Okay. So the court placed me under probation, all right, and gave me a time curfew. The day I came back from court, straight I abscond already. Yeah, I was really always against the law. Yeah, that's where,
Mm.
I'm also rebellious.
So social worker also cannot control you lah, huh?
Cannot control me now. They can't find me also. I start to run away from home.
Mm.
Mm, then run away from home, then go to other places, other estates.
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of started, that my life is become what they call it's always on the run. Mm.
I forgot to ask you, what about your brothers? Did they talk to you?
Not really in good
Mm.
talking terms.
Mm.
Well, always fight, always quarrel with them, and then
Your
eventually don't really talk much
brothers
to
are
each other.
older or younger?
I have one older, and the other are
Mm.
younger.
You are the middle. Okay.
Yeah, the middle child. The only black sheep also.
Mm.
Mm.
When did you really get into trouble, right, with the law? And did you face charges against you?
Yeah, I
Mm.
think my first encounter breach of infringe with the law, right? I
Mm.
think it was the age of 13.
Mm.
I
So
committed
young,
my
huh?
first offense. I
Yeah.
committed my first offense of housebreaking.
Okay.
Mm.
In Toa Payoh?
No. In Kalang,
Mm.
the old Kalang, there's a wonderland there during the 80s, early 80s. There's a wonderland,
Mm.
kind of roller coaster, the kind of play, carnival. Yeah.
How did this happen?
Uh, I actually, because I was on the run,
Mm.
then I my friend introduced me to work for his what do you call it, his aunt selling noodles in the Wonderland. So in the afternoon, so one fine day afternoon, after the lunch crowd, I just stroll around the Wonderland area, and then I met a group of people, another group of students.
Mm.
So just met, and then they said, "Hey, we want to climb up. You want to join us?" So then I just joined in, and then get caught
Ah.
on the spot.
Oh, so a group of you broke into a house.
Not a house. It's the carnival store, one of the store where
Ah,
you
okay.
throw rings, and depends on what you throw on, and then that if you throw on something, that thing become your reward. The kind of game store. Mm. The so-called arcade during my time.
Right. So this is after office hours lah. It closed already, and you all broke in.
Before during lunchtime.
Before, okay.
Mm.
Right. Right.
Because it's a wonderland,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
So it mainly operate for nights, but daytime there are still working people around, right? So
Mm.
there's a coffee shops there, coffee store there. Yeah, I work in the one of the coffee stores. So noontime, not like very quiet, no activities, and then most of the stores you are just covered with canvases.
Mm.
Just cover your canvases, so you just literally can climb in and then, you know. Get what you want. And then I remember there are machines that, how it started now, I remember. Uh, when there's a machine where you slot coins and then you kind of like move, that kind of like horse ride or motorcycle ride, the kind
Yeah,
of machines. I
yeah.
remember I go and pry the slot machine. So this group of students saw me, you see. So that's why they invited me, you want to join or you want to go and climb over. Then I found that I do got some coins. Then I find, hey, why not? Okay, then join them. They get caught. They got caught by the store owner.
Okay. So it was not planned at all, lah. There's no planning involved.
It's an impromptu invitation, so it's kind of impromptu. Lah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So this one, then you got a invitation to drink coffee lah at the police station, and then what happened?
I was charged in court the
Mm,
next day.
right.
I then charged in court because of my age. I
Yeah.
was 13. Then the court placed me under probation.
Mm,
Right? But because I already have one, was placed under family court for probation, right? So
mm,
they just extend my probation. That's all. Continue the probation.
mm,
Uh, okay. Same thing. That same day that I came back from court, I absconded again.
mm, mm, mm.
Mm.
So the offense didn't stop you, lah, right?
No, I didn't,
Mm,
because
mm.
I just find that it's just another episode only. It never deter also.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you continue to do this, and then you pass the age of 15, right? Was that the age of 15 that you
Yeah.
no longer consider a child, right?
No, 16.
16, okay.
Under 16, you are still considered a juvenile under
Mm, mm.
the eyes of the law, right?
So then, do you remember what was the offense that led you to being charged as an adult?
Because the when I absconded, right, it's
Mm,
still, because I absconded, I was charged during that time, right, as a juvenile. But the period that I absconded, right, passes the juvenile age.
okay, okay.
So I got arrested on the same day, my birthday, I remember.
Mm,
At the age of 16, because I'm under wanted. So at the age of 15, I think I got arrested for drug consumption. That means I got arrested. Then I go to police station. They took my urine sample. Right? Then I'm
mm,
supposed to report. 2 weeks later, and then I absconded again. So I was wanted by police. I also wanted by the court. Okay,
right.
uh,
Yeah.
not police, wanted by CMBs because of the drug. And then the urine sample came back positive, but I already absconded. So at the age of 16, I got arrested. Arrested. So the court, but arrested, but my case was during my time was under juvenile court. So they sent me
Yeah.
back to juvenile court. And then, of course, they have to remand me because they are afraid that I abscond again, right? So they remanded
Mm,
me in Singapore Boys Home. Remanded me in Singapore Boys Home. Then after that, they extended my probation again.
mm,
Okay, because they wanted to send me to Reformative Training Center, the RTC for youth. But during my time, the RTC, they don't take in addicts. They don't take in glue sniffers also.
right.
So the court left with no choice to extend another year of probation, which I abscond again. Okay, then until I got arrested. And then during that period of abscond, I was addicted in heroin.
Mm,
Uh, so when I got arrested at the age of 17, I was sent to DRC, drug rehab.
yeah.
That was my first drug rehab.
Where is the drug rehab center?
It's located at Pas Panjang,
Pasir Panjang.
yeah.
Okay.
It's the current Malay halfway house. before the Malay Halfway House, it was actually the drug rehab center.
Did that
Mm.
help you to kick the addiction?
It didn't help to kick. Of course, you're
Uh,
forced to kick the habit,
yeah,
but
yeah.
when you're out, right, it doesn't really help, because during
Mm-hmm.
the time, mm, my so-called network expanded.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
So in these kind of places, you don't tend to rehab yourself, but you end up your network expanded. You get more
You mean
contacts.
because you are inside the center, you make new
Mm.
contacts?
Because you know people from all over the Singapore, right? And then
Mm.
you know all are from the same offense with the same offense. You see? So you learn from them. Oh, you know how to score drug, and then how they smuggle drug, how to traffic drugs. And then they will tell you all the different kinds of drugs. That's why your not only the network grew,
Yeah, yeah,
expanded, the knowledge also expanded,
yeah.
and then the practical also it also expanded.
It's like the worst place they could have sent you, right?
Yeah, it's never a good place. In boys home also same thing. Expand
Yeah.
your uh in- everything you grow, expand, you learn, not the positive one, but rather the negative one.
Mm, mm,
Mm. And then also during my time then in prison, they don't really have the kind of what do you call that, the education or counseling part that what they have today. So
right.
it's different. Mm.
When you were in prison, it was never feeling like this is very serious punishment. I better turn over a new leaf. Did you feel like that?
Earlier days, no.
Mm, mm.
Earlier days is more of the curiosity. Like, hey, wow, you learn new things, right? Learn new skills. I say learn new skills. you know, I learned my tattoo inside prison.
Ah,
I learned tattoo inside prison. I learned all the funny stuff, become creative inside prison. How to evade being caught inside prison.
survival skills in prison. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. So true.
So you spent a total of about 20 years in prison. Yeah.
I'm more than 20, in fact.
More than 20 years.
Include my childhood, I think it's more than 20. I've
Mm,
calculated one few times, I think. Almost coming up to 28 years.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
28 years. Wow.
Yeah, so eventually from boys' home, I elevated. So my education part also elevated from prison, from boys' home
Mm,
to drug rehab to SAF detention barracks, and then drug rehab, then officially step into Singapore Changi Prison. You know,
mm,
that's the
mm.
university there until I graduated at the age of 48.
Can you just talk about being in prison? What is the experience like being in prison?
Hmm. Of course, it depends on which earlier stage, or the middle stage, or the last stage.
Mm,
The
mm,
earlier stage is when you are remanded. That the feeling, the sensation is always, the sense of fear, because
mm,
you are lost, confused, because you don't know what's going to happen. All right, because but you are certain that uh, the punishment is certain, right? And then you have to face the consequences. So once you get your verdict, okay, that's when the survivor, what do you call it, the survivor skills kicks in. Okay, how to
mm,
survive during this period, right?
mm, mm,
Uh, so is but there are times that, of course, emotionally you feel down, and then every time you relapse back into incarcerations, you feel discouraged. Then you feel disappointed, and then at times you feel despair already. You don't
mm,
see life, you don't see hope, right? And then life doesn't make any sense to you. and then there's also a sense of stepping out of prison also, because you know that, you don't see hope in life, then you're going to go back to society again, and then the cycle going to repeat. Okay? And then wanting to get out, but do not have directions. That was during my earlier times. Yeah. And then as I elevated in to get higher degree, then start to think about life, start to contemplate about life, you know. Of course, in terms of logics, you start to sense it. That does it worth the freedom that that you change, right, with crime or with drugs? That it doesn't make sense. But the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. They're always wanting to have some to make it, in life. But as age catching up, and then with all the strings of records, and then don't have academic credential, how am I going to survive? How am I going to do? And then, can I amount to something in life?
Did you try a few times to turn over a new leaf?
Yeah, tried a few times, but because the the flesh is weak, mean in the sense where you are, in the spot of temptations, you tend to give in,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then psychologically, sometimes you're not being tempted, but psychologically, the addictions, the mind is still addicted.
Yeah.
That while you kind of like reminiscing over the feeling. Sometimes that's where you go on the relapse. Well, of course, the other factors in life also, right? Other factors in life that when you find it very hard to survive outside.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that, right? Did people give you chances when you leave
Yeah,
the
yeah.
prison, go outside? Yeah.
Yes. There are people
Mm-hmm.
who give the chance,
Mm-hmm.
and who give me many chances. In fact, it's just that I find that yes, I screwed up, because all this while during that time, I think I was very self-centered. Always thinking about I, me, and myself, and never care, because in that so-called also kind of mentality, right? As a man, you face the consequences for what you have done. So all the while, that has been deeply rooted in my principle. Never mind, if I dare to commit anything, I face it myself. But little did I know that the ripple effect that causes the pain and disappointment to the others around me. So that's why I would term myself as very self-centered. So it took me years to understand this.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
of course, and another part to look into it deeply, I think, is also self-condemnation.
What do you mean
Every time
by
you
that?
wanted to really turn over a new leaf, but there's this bondage of self-condemnation is so real, that you want to do this. Are you sure you cannot? You with all your records of failures and disappointment, don't waste time. Don't be a hypocrite. So to me, it's don't waste your time. Only cut short. Okay, then let it be. The kind of mentality.